Hello students, good morning. Welcome to online learning standard 9 subject science. Students, in 9th standard science from the chemistry part we have successfully completed unit number 10, which is matter around us, and from today onwards through the online class we are going to learn the lesson atomic structure. It is unit number 11 in your textbook, that is atomic structure. Students, in the previous lesson we have seen about what is called as matter, how it is defined, how it is classified, its types, everything we have seen in the previous video, previous online classes. And we know that matter is composed of atoms. Okay, so now we have to analyze the internal structure of atom. That will be discussed in this unit number 11, atomic structure. Okay, dear students, first let us see the introduction of this lesson. Okay, students, look here what I have placed. I have placed a picture in which a kid is playing with toys. We know that if a kid is given a toy, it is very curious to know what is present inside the toy, isn't it? You might have observed this behavior. Okay, likewise, once upon a time the scientists were very curious to analyze, to know the internal structure of atom. During that time the structure of atom was unknown, so that they have performed various tests or various experiments in order to get clarified with the internal structure of atoms, and they have proposed various atomic models to explain the structure of atom. Okay, so now let us see the proposals of atomic models given by various scientists. Okay, look here. The first attempt in explaining the internal structure of an atom was made by a scientist called John Dalton. Okay, this is the picture of John Dalton, and according to him, matter is made of atoms, but atoms are considered to be an indivisible particles. They cannot be divided, and we cannot study about the internal or the inner structure of atom. According to whom? According to the scientist John Dalton. But this theory is failed. So, in order to overcome the drawbacks of this model, the next scientist, okay, who is known as J.J. Thomson, he came up with his new ideas, and he proposed his atomic model, which is known as J.J. Thomson's atomic model. Okay, so this is the picture of J.J. Thomson. According to him, there are two types of charges exist for an atom. One is positive charge and the one more is negative charge. Okay, look here, this is the model proposed by J.J. Thomson. Okay, the positive charge of an atom exists as spherical cloud, whereas the negative charge, which is electrons, are embedded over the spherical cloud of positive charge. It is looking like a watermelon. The red colored part of the watermelon is similar to the positive charge of an atom, whereas the black color seeds of a watermelon are similar to the negatively charged electrons. So the J.J. Thomson's model is also known as plum pudding model. Not only watermelon, we can have the example of guava fruit also. Okay, so this is the model proposed by J.J. Thomson. According to him, an atom is a neutral particle in which the positive charge exists as a spherical cloud, whereas in the spherical cloud of positive charge the electrons are embedded. This method also had some disadvantages, so it is also a failed one. Now another scientist, he is coming up with these new ideas, and so he is going to propose the structure of an atom. Look here, the next sign. Okay, this is the picture I have placed to explain the J.J. Thomson's model. Then next scientist, he is the scientist, he has discovered nucleus. Before the concept of the Rutherford's experiment, the concept of nucleus was unknown. Okay, so Rutherford was the scientist who has discovered the concept of nucleus. He has proven that every atom has a nucleus. Every atom has a positively charged nucleus. It was discovered and proven by whom? By Rutherford. So we can say discovery of nucleus. Okay, so in order to discover the nucleus, He is famous for his experiment which is known as gold foil experiment, and it is given Rutherford's gold foil experiment. Okay, okay, look here. This is the picture of Rutherford, and this is the picture which shows the Rutherford's gold foil experiments. First, let me explain the structure. Look at the center. This is the gold foil. Why gold foil is taken? Because it is very thin atom. Also, it is highly ductile and malleable. So he has chosen gold atom. Okay, so he has taken a piece of very thin gold foil, and through this gold foil he is allowing the alpha particles. It is a type of ray. When you come to higher classes, you will know clearly about what is called as alpha ray. Now just you can imagine that it is a ray. Okay, so when alpha rays are allowed to pass through a thin gold foil, he has observed some observations, and based on his observations, look here, this is the source of alpha rays, and from this source the rays are allowed to pass through this gold foil. So what happens to this past rays? That is his observations that we will see in the coming slides. Okay, this experiment is called as Rutherford's gold foil experiments. What he is doing, he has taken a thin gold foil, and through the thin gold foil, what is allowed to fall? Alpha rays or alpha particles are allowed to fall. During that time, he is observing something that is listed in the coming slide. Okay, ma? Okay, ma. This is a short video which explains Rutherford's gold foil experiment. This is the experimental setup of Rutherford's gold foil experiment. Here is a source for alpha particles from which the rays are emitted. The rays are then allowed to pass through a thin film of gold. Most of the rays are passing through without any deflection. A few rays are deflected to a certain angle. When the passage of alpha rays is continued, a very few alpha particles are deflected in the same angle. Okay, so from this gold foil experiments, the observations are listed here. Observations of gold foil experiment. Okay, observation number 1. What is given? Most of the alpha particles, the past alpha particles are passing straight through the foil without any deflection. Majority of the alpha rays, they doesn't show any deflection. They simply pass through the thin gold foil. That is the first observation. Then observation number 2. Some of the alpha particles were slightly deflected from their straight path. This is observation number 2. This I have shown in the video itself. Okay, then third observation is very few alpha particles are completely bounced back. Look here, let me draw a diagram and explain to you. When alpha particles are passed through a gold foil, this is a gold foil. Now the alpha particles are allowed to pass through. Majority of the alpha rays are passing straight through the foil, whereas a certain alpha rays are deflected to a particular angle, whereas a certain alpha rays are deflected in the same angle. So these three are the observations of Rutherford's gold foil experiment, and from these observations he has proposed his atomic model to explain the structure of atom that we are going to see now. And this is the picture which shows the observations of Rutherford's gold foil experiment. Here also look here, majority of the rays are passing through. Some are deflected to a particular angle, whereas some are deflected or bounced back at the same path in which they are allowed to fall. Okay, okay, Mo. Now the findings are the structure of atom according to Rutherford's atomic model. Look at the point number 1. What is given? The atom contains large empty space. It's a very important point, students. How he can conclude this point? How he can say an atom has a large empty space? What is the first observation? Majority of the alpha rays are passing through the gold foil. So from that observation he is confirming that majority of the space in an atom is empty. So that is point number 1. The atom contains a large empty space. Then point number 2. There is a positively charged mass at the center of the atom, and which is known as nucleus. Look here, when the alpha rays are passing through a gold atom, when the alpha rays strikes the nucleus, it is completely bounced back. Okay, from this observation he is proposing his second postulate, that is, there is a positive, because alpha ray is also a positive, nucleus is also a positive. That is why when the positively charged alpha rays strikes this nucleus, it is completely deflected. So from this observation he has proposed his second postulate, that is, there is a positively charged mass at the center of the atom, and that positively charged mass is known as nucleus. Is it clear, students? Yes. Then postulate number 3. Okay, in the postulate number 3 he is comparing the size of nucleus with the size of atom, and he says that the size of the nucleus of an atom is very small compared to the size of an atom. When we compare the size of nucleus with the size of atom, the nucleus is very small in size. That is observation number 3. Okay, remaining 2 observations I have placed in the next slide. Look here, observation number 4. Rutherford's atomic model is continued here also. Observation number 4. What is given in observation number 4? The electrons revolve around the nucleus in close circular paths, and those paths are called as orbits. Okay, he has said about nucleus. Nucleus is a positively charged one, and now he is saying about the position of electron. In an atom, the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in close circular paths, and those paths are called as orbits. Okay, then point number 5 is telling about the charge of an atom. Atom is neither positive nor negative. An atom as a whole is electrically neutral. We know that when the number of positive charge is equal to number of negative charge, it will be a neutral species. So he says that in an atom, the number of protons possess positive charge and electrons possess negative charge. So he has concluded that an atom as a whole is electrically neutral, and this neutrality is due to every atom possess the number of protons in an atom is equal to the number of electrons. Okay, so these are the 5 postulates of Rutherford's atomic model. It's very important 5-mark question. And this is the picture which shows the Rutherford's atomic model. Look here, this is the nucleus which is placed at the center, and this is orbit in which the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Okay, nucleus is positively charged one, electrons are negatively charged one. Okay, Rutherford's atomic model is completed. Then the drawbacks of Rutherford's atomic model. This model also had some limitations or drawbacks that we are going to see now. Limitations of Rutherford's atomic model. Look here, in the Rutherford's atomic model, the fourth point is given that electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Dear students, when a particle is continuously moving, there should be the loss of its energy, isn't it? Even a human, if you take a human being, if we work continuously, what do we feel? We'll feel that our energy has lost. Likewise, if an electron is keep revolving around the nucleus, it is continuously losing its energy, and finally it will fall into the nucleus, so that will damage the atomic structure, isn't it? Yes. So this is the failure of this Rutherford's atomic model. It is given that according to electromagnetic theory, a moving electron should accelerate and continuously lose energy, and due to the loss of energy, path of electron may reduce, and finally the electron should fall into the nucleus. Okay, if it happens, so atom becomes unstable. If the electron fall into nucleus, the atoms becomes unstable, but atoms are the stable one. So the Rutherford's model is failed to explain the stability of an atom. Okay, look here students, it is nucleus, the electrons are revolving in a particular path. If it is keep revolving, its path is reduced, and finally it will fall into the nucleus. That will collapse the structure of atom, or we can say that will collapse the stability of atom, but atoms are stable, so this theories fail to explain the stability of atom. Okay Vama. Okay, so with this Rutherford's atomic model is completed. Here what are the things we have seen so far? We have seen the Rutherford's atomic model. Once again, let me read and explain the Rutherford's atomic model. What is point number 1? Atom has a large empty space. Then point number 2 is there is a positively charged nucleus present at the center of an atom. Then third one is the size of nucleus is very small compared to the size of atom. Then postulate number 4 is the electrons revolve around the nucleus in close circular paths. Those paths are called as orbits. An atom as a whole is electrically neutral. This neutrality is due to the number of protons in an atom is equal to the number of electrons. Okay, Mama? And the limitations also we have seen. Okay, dear students, with this video ends. This is very important concepts, so you have to pay attention and learn clearly. Thank you.